Our final presentation is going to be the Bar Association's response to this problem. This kind of got started actually when the OSBA committee was created, and Adam Miller, Lieutenant Colonel Miller, was heading that project, and Duncan Auckland was very involved in that. And they dealt with the LAMP program, Legal Assistance to Military Personnel, that was an American Bar Association model. But they dealt mostly with active military, kind of deployment issues, doing their wills, trusts, issues coming back, trying to get their jobs back, benefits, things like that. And we began realizing that there's no real group that deals with all the vets out there that continue to have programs. A huge number of our Vietnam vets still remain homeless, and Jim Connelly works a lot with that population. But there's just, and then there's a continuum. You may be active 1 minute, and then you're deployed, and then you're back, and you're a vet, and then you get reactivated, and you're deployed. And so we decided this is something that should be one continuum. So I had pursued a Walmart contact from a conference, a leadership training course I went to, and the head of the three-state district was a former Marine, and I started talking to them, found out there's a Walmart Foundation, fourth largest in the country, frankly, that has done a lot with vets. And so we were able to get a seed grant from them, which the Ohio State Bar Foundation matched, actually doubled the seed grant. And then we just, last week, through the efforts of an attorney named Dave Shovelin, who's been very involved in pro bono work, got us a grant for $25,000 from the Columbus Foundation. So the money's growing, and basically we put together this project to deal with how do we take care of recruiting attorneys, how do we identify veterans coming into the system, and as I explained in my opening comments, we named it OMLAP. Ohio Military Veterans and Legal Assistance Foundation, or a program, because most people don't know what pro bono means, but the military knows what legal assistance program means, and so that's why we stuck with that name, because that's the audience, that's the group we want to have take advantage of this. We were very fortunate to hire an attorney named Mike Renner. He used to be with Bricker and Eckler, then he became chief counsel for Betty Montgomery when she was Attorney General. Then he left and helped start the Tobacco Foundation from scratch until the legislature took all their money and did other things other than spend on tobacco, rehabilitation. And then he retired and started a whole bunch of pro bono projects, became very active in pro bono for the bar. And when this job opened, he basically, although he's paid a nominal sum, I stress nominal compared to what his market rate is, he is now heading this project. So when we interviewed him, we were telling him what we wanted to do, and he asked us all sorts of questions to which we said, well, we don't know, I have no idea, I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. And I finally looked at him and said, well, that's why we need to hire you, because he started foundations, he knows the questions to ask, and he's helping us to put together a statewide organization. And so he's going to share with us, as our final speaker, the Bar Association response, because this is a key part in making sure all these pieces fit together. So, Mike?
Well, I fully appreciate that the major obligation of the final presenter in the Long Days Conference is to get done, and especially on Friday. I do want to just spend, and it's going to be easy to get done because everybody's been talking about what they're doing, and so far we aren't doing anything yet. So, okay, I'm finished. This has been very enlightening for me to interconnect with all the services that are available for veterans, and the programs that need to be pushed out through marketing efforts to the veterans so that they know how to connect with them. And whether it's a veteran, when a veteran comes back with brain injury or PSD, and there are resources available to help them if we can figure out how to make those interconnections. If he comes back with physical injury, there are professional medical services that are available, provided through our public services, as long as we can connect them. And in more recent times, the intersection with the legal system, where an individual is a veteran is brought into the legal system because of his drug addiction or because of crimes that he's committed related perhaps to drug or alcohol use or substance dependence. There are resources available to assist if we can figure out how to employ the Veterans Courts, or even in counties where there isn't a Veterans Courts, there's a public defender and services are available to help. But all day we've been talking about the legal system in terms of the criminal side of the justice system in our country. There's a whole other side that is unconnected to criminal activity, to which veterans may, probably at a greater percentage than the general population, find themselves in need of professional services. And there are no resources available for the veteran who comes back and finds that his spouse is suing for a divorce. And so he says, what's in my wallet? He finds his Capital One credit card, hires a lawyer to help him, and then sooner or later Capital One is now suing him for collection on the credit card debt. And so he's depressed, doesn't know what to do, has a big party for all his friends that come over, make a loud noise, and his landlord hangs up an eviction notice that we, in this apartment complex, we don't have big loud parties. And so what we face is an environment where a veteran is once again cross-secting with the legal system, only there is no VA program, or there is no state of Ohio program to step in and be of service. How is this to be solved? Well, with all the jokes that have been inflicted upon the legal profession for years, I'm here to tell you that lawyers are willing to volunteer. And we've got some great lawyers in the state of Ohio, lots of them, who recognize that people coming back from Afghanistan or coming back from Vietnam have served them already and have paid their price. And so we as lawyers are willing to step forward and give back for that service. So the challenge becomes, how do you find all those lawyers that are willing to volunteer? How do you identify what their specialties are? And even once you've done that, how do you let the veteran know that there is some service available if he's encountering a cross-section with our civil justice system? And that's what Justice Stratton has asked me to try to get engaged with. We have some great help. Colonel Auckland and Adam Miller and others in the room have been helping me a lot to try to figure this all out. But fundamentally what we are going to develop, and I think hopefully the phone's going to start being answered the 1st of January, is we're going to have a call center. And we're going to market that telephone number through every channel we can think of, through the veteran community. And that call center will have somebody there ready to answer the phone and have in front of them a database of lawyers that we have been recruiting and identifying in the various geographic regions around Ohio to be able to provide the service needed. We're going to start small. My theory is that I'd rather have more lawyers than we need for the small area that we're opening up than have fewer lawyers than we need when the serviceman calls us. So we're going to start probably in the central Ohio area, to get this rolling immediately in January. We're going to start with a subset of the areas of law that might be impactful on various veterans. We'll probably be starting with some domestic relations matters, probably uncontested divorces with somewhat limited marital assets. We will start with consumer debt, the credit card, people that are chasing the veterans, with landlord-tenant, eviction matters. We'll probably try to offer a service for the recent veterans who came back thinking that the law protected their jobs while they were gone, only to find out that their employer didn't know that the law protected their jobs while they were gone, so it wasn't there. And a lawyer may need to intervene here to make sure that federal statutes are complied with. And then hopefully shortly after the beginning of the year, we will interconnect this network with the other quadrants of the state, and we will perhaps expand the areas of law that we're able to serve depending on the volunteer network of lawyers that we've been able to recruit. We're looking to coordinate our availability of service between the various bar associations in Ohio, the network of legal aid societies that cover the entire state, and our 9 law schools, most of whom, as a service, a teaching component of their law students, provide a public clinic so that they can teach lawyers the practicalities of service. And we're working on trying to get those law schools to say, well, we'll expand our clinic to have a veterans component. We will serve veterans who are in need of civil legal assistance. So it's an ambitious project, but I am fully confident that my brothers in the legal community are going to want to be front and center in trying to serve this community, trying to serve the veterans community. I'm fully confident that over the next few months we will be able to offer this service on a wide spectrum of need. We don't know what the demand will be. We don't know how many veterans of our 900,000 that are out there and by the way, I should have mentioned, we will be doing this for low-income veterans. Those that come back from Afghanistan and take up their job as vice president of the bank again, they can go out and hire their own lawyer. But we'll be there for the low-income veterans, and we need to probably get a little bit of experience behind us before we know how many of Ohio veterans are in need of this service. But we plan to be delivering it. So thank you for making it happen, Justice Stratton, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this summit, which is certainly informative of me, and I'm hoping that we all learn something